What if a 14-year-old boy became Rome's emperor and turned the eternal city into his private madhouse? Within 4 years, he was dead, his name cursed and carved from stone. Yet his blood-soaked legend refuses to fade. Welcome to Fact Zone. Today, we journey deep into the life of Elagabalus, known to posterity as Elagabalus, the teenage emperor whose sun god cult, deadly feasts, and monstrous spectacles scandalized Rome, only to end in a bloody coup and a damnatio memoriae. By the end of this video, you'll know why he remains the most shocking figure of the imperial age. In 218 AD, the legions of Legio III Gallica in Syria declared 14-year-old Sextus Varius Bassianus emperor. His secret weapon? His grandmother, Julia Maesa, mastermind of palace intrigue. Together, they toppled Emperor Macrinus and installed the boy born in Emesa, home of the sun god Elagabal. Elagabalus arrived in Rome carrying a sacred meteorite, the so-called Black Stone of Emesa. He housed it in a newly built temple on Palatine Hill and proclaimed it the living embodiment of his god. Statues of Jupiter draped in purple, Vestal virgins demoted. The traditional priesthood was sidelined. Senators watched in horror as sacrifices to Jupiter were halted, replaced by rites to the foreign sun god. Rome's populace, raised on Jupiter, Mars, and Venus, found their sacred traditions upended. Rumors swirled. Did the boy believe himself a god? Or was this all Julia Maesa's grand design to consolidate power? This radical religious coup set the stage for even darker spectacles. But first, he threw a banquet that would go down in infamy. Imagine being invited to a dinner where roses fall like rain until the petals bury you alive. According to the Historia Augusta, Elagabalus ordered so many rose petals dumped from the ceiling that guests at his palace suffocated beneath the fragrant tide. Courtiers laughed at first until the murmur of panic grew. Lungs tightened, faces contorted. Servants frantically tried to shovel petals off their masters. Was this gladiatorial cruelty disguised as luxury, or an eccentric prank that spiraled catastrophically out of control? Either way, the pink banquet proved that for Elagabalus, beauty could kill. But roses weren't the only controversy. Next, he shattered Rome's moral codes in the name of love. In 220 AD, Elagabalus married Aquilia Severa, a Vestal virgin sworn to 30 years of chastity. Rome's laws forbade such a union, yet the emperor publicly wed her in the temple of Vesta. He claimed their union mirrored a sacred cosmic wedding, Elagabalus and Severa as sun and earth reborn. Ancient sources allege he wore women's clothing, offered to have his genitals surgically altered, and called himself the wife of his chariot driver Heracles. Senators whispered that the emperor preferred passion over politics. Rome's elite recoiled at this sacrilege. Yet many commoners admired his defiance of tradition. Was Elagabalus a proto-modern champion of identity, or simply another tyrant using sex to shock his subjects? In a city built on order, Elagabalus's personal life became the ultimate political weapon. When banquets and marriages bored him, Elagabalus turned to torture as entertainment. Guests were bound naked to a rotating water wheel, ducked into the Tiber tributary, then lifted over and over until their strength broke. In the amphitheater, he released vipers into the crowd, delighted by the sight of mothers shielding children as venom took hold. He threw coins from palace balconies. Plebeians stampeded, trampled, some crushed in the scramble for fleeting wealth. These weren't mere pranks. Each spectacle reinforced the message. The emperor's whim was absolute law. Terror became the ultimate statecraft. Under Elagabalus, fear was currency, and he spent it lavishly. But absolute power breeds absolute enemies. By March 222 AD, the Praetorian Guard and even his own grandmother had enough. Julia Maesa conspired with senior officers to replace Elagabalus with his cousin, Alexianus. Under cover of night, palace gates were seized. They dragged him into the moonlit alleys. The teenage emperor, once worshipped as a deity, was stabbed and clubbed to death. His blood painted Rome's cobbles. Senators declared a damnatio memoriae. Statues toppled, inscriptions erased, coins melted. Rome sought to blot out his name, yet history refuses oblivion. Elagabalus's reign stands as a warning. Cults, cruelty, and unchecked whim can poison even the mightiest empire. Thanks for watching. If Elagabalus's sun god madness and bloody spectacles fascinated or horrified you, smash the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more deep dives into history's dark corners. Tell us in the comments, which of Elagabalus's horrors shocked you most? Until next time, stay curious and beware the face behind the crown.